Now, listen carefully. The first key to manifesting money rapidly is to understand that it already exists in your world. There is no such thing as creating something from nothing. There is only the art of becoming aware of that which already is. Money in vast abundance already exists in your world, waiting for you to claim it through the power of your wonderful human imagination. When I speak of imagination, I do not mean idle fantasy or mere wishful thinking. No, I speak of the creative power that shapes the very fabric of your reality. Your imagination is God in action, the very force that brings all things into being. It is the only true creative power in the universe. To manifest huge sums of money in 2 days or less, you must first enter into the state of the wish fulfilled. You must feel the wealth you desire as an accomplished fact, not as something hoped for in some distant future, but as a present reality that you are experiencing and know. Let me share with you how this divine law operates. Not long ago, a dear friend of mine found himself in dire financial circumstances. His business was failing, and he needed a substantial sum of money within 48 hours to prevent complete ruin. Having heard me speak on these principles, he decided to apply them with unwavering faith. He went home that evening, and before falling asleep, he entered into a state akin to sleep, but not quite sleep, that drowsy twilight state where the conscious and subconscious minds merge. In this state, he imagined holding a check in his hands for the exact amount he needed. He felt the paper between his fingers, saw the numbers clearly, and most importantly, he felt the overwhelming relief and gratitude that would accompany the receipt of such a sum. He did not question how this money would come to him. He did not concern himself with the means or channels through which it might arrive. He simply lived in the end, feeling the reality of wealth as an accomplished fact. Upon awaking the next morning, he went about his day with an inner calm and certainty that defied his outer circumstances. Though nothing had yet changed in his visible world, he maintained the feeling of the wish fulfilled. He spoke, acted, and thought from the assumption that his financial problems were solved. And then, my friends, less than 36 hours after his nighttime possession of imaginal work, he received a call from a former client whom he had not heard from in years. This client needed an urgent service that only my friend could provide, and was willing to pay a premium price that exceeded the very sum my friend had imagined receiving. Was this mere coincidence? I assure you it was not. It was the perfect operation of divine law. When you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, when you live from the end, the entire universe rearranges itself to bring about the conditions necessary for the realization of your assumption. But perhaps you are thinking that sounds too simple. Surely there must be more to it than that. I tell you truthfully, the law is simple. It is we who complicate it with our doubts and mental chatter. The second vital key to manifesting money rapidly is to eliminate all contradictory thoughts and feelings. Your conscious mind may affirm wealth, but if your deeper feelings and assumptions speak of lack, it is those deeper assumptions that will be made manifest in your world. Consider this carefully. Many desire wealth but continue to feel poor. They affirm abundance while simultaneously feeling the anxiety of lack. This divided mind cannot produce the desired results, for the law responds not to what you think superficially, but to what you feel deeply. To manifest huge sums of money in 2 days or less, you must achieve a state of undivided consciousness. Your entire being must vibrate with the conviction of wealth. There must be no part of you that doubts or denies this reality. Now let me teach you a specific technique that has proven remarkably effective for rapid manifestation. I call it the mental diet. For the next 2 days, the period during which you wish to manifest your money, you must carefully guard your mental and emotional states. You must feed your mind only those thoughts and feelings that align with your desire. When you catch yourself thinking or feeling in a way that contradicts your assumption of wealth, immediately revise that thought. Do not fight it or resist it, for what you resist persists. Instead, gently but firmly replace it with its opposite. If you find yourself thinking, I don't see how this money can possibly come to me, immediately revise it to, I am surrounded by infinite possibilities, and money flows to me from expected sources. If you feel anxiety about bills or expenses, revise that feeling immediately to one of confidence and security. Feel as you would feel if all your financial needs were abundantly met. This mental diet must be strictly followed for the duration of your manifestation period. Even a few moments of doubt or concern can significantly delay your results. Now, the third key, and this is absolutely crucial for rapid manifestation, is to create a vivid, sensory, that is scene that implies the fulfillment of your desire. For instance, imagine yourself checking your bank account and seeing the exact sum you wish to manifest. Feel the emotions that would arise in that moment, the relief, the joy, the sense of security. Hear the sounds around you as you make this discovery. Perhaps you share the news with a loved one, hear their voice congratulating you. Make this imaginal scene as real and vivid as possible. Once you have constructed this scene, you must enter into it fully and repeatedly, especially during those precious moments before sleep. The subconscious mind is most receptive when you are in a drowsy, relaxed state. It is in these moments that the seed of your desire can be most effectively planted. I cannot emphasize enough the importance of feeling in your manifestation work. Logic and reason belong to your conscious mind, but the creative power lies in your feeling. Your emotions are the language of your subconscious, and it is the subconscious that brings your assumptions into physical form. Feel wealthy. Feel successful. Feel the relief and gratitude of financial abundance. These feelings are the secret bridge between your desire and its manifestation. Let me share another remarkable case with you. A young woman who attended my lectures deeply in debt and needed to manifest several $1,000s within 48 hours to prevent legal action against her. She had tried everything within the realm of human effort, but had found no solution. After hearing me speak on these principles, she went home determined to apply them fully. She created a simple scene where she was opening her mail and finding a check for the exact amount she needed. She felt the texture of the envelope, the weight of the check in her hands. She allowed the feeling of immense relief to wash over her as she realized her problems were solved. She replayed this scene in her imagination over and over, each time deepening the feeling of relief and gratitude. She did this just before sleep and upon awakening, and carried the feeling with her throughout her day. On the morning of the second day, she received a call from a relative she had not been close to for many years. This relative, without knowing of her financial troubles, explained that he had recently been reviewing his will and financial affairs. He had decided to give substantial gifts to family members now, rather than having them wait for an inheritance. She received a check that day for slightly more than the amount she had imagined. Was this a miracle? By conventional understanding, perhaps so. But I tell you, it was simply an operation of law, as precise and predictable as any law of physics. Now, there is another element vital to rapid manifestation that I must address, the element of faith. But when I speak of faith, I do not mean belief or hope. Faith, in its true sense, is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Faith is the feeling of possession of that which you desire, but which has not yet appeared in the visible world. To manifest money rapidly, you must have absolute faith in the process. You must know, not merely believe, but know that what you have imagined is already a reality on the spiritual plane and must, by divine law, manifest on the physical plane. This faith is not wishful thinking. It is a deep, unshakable knowing that emerges when you truly understand the nature of reality. Reality is created from within. Your consciousness is the only reality, and the world you experience is but a projection of your own mental states. When you grasp this truth fully, manifesting money in 2 days or less becomes no more miraculous than planting a seed and watching it grow. It is simply the natural result of properly applied law. Now, some of you may be wondering about action. Should I take physical action to bring about my desire? The answer is yes, but only the action that flows naturally from your new state of consciousness. When you have truly assumed the feeling of wealth, you will find yourself naturally drawn to take actions that align with this new state. Opportunities will present themselves, and you will feel compelled to act upon them. But these actions will not feel like struggle or strain. They will feel like the natural expression of your inner state. Do not force action out of fear or desperation. Such action rarely produces desirable results. Instead, act from a place of inner certainty and alignment. Let me address another common concern, the matter of worthiness. Many believe they must somehow earn great wealth or prove themselves worthy of abundance. This is a fundamental misunderstanding of the nature of the universe. The universe does not withhold or bestow wealth based on worthiness. It simply responds to your consciousness. If you assume wealth, you will experience wealth. If you assume lack, you will experience lack. It is as simple and as profound as that. You need not justify your desire for wealth. You need not explain to the universe why you should have money. You simply need to assume the consciousness of already having it. Now, here is a technique that has proven particularly effective for rapid manifestation. I call it living in the end throughout the day. As you go about your daily activities, regardless of what they may be, carry with you the feeling of already possessing the wealth you desire. When you purchase something small, do so with the inner feeling of limitless abundance. When you pay a bill, do so with gratitude for your abundant resources. Speak to others as you would if your financial situation were exactly as you desire it to be. You need not lie or make false claims. Simply adjust your inner feeling tone to match your desired reality. This consistent inner state will accelerate your manifestation far more effectively than occasional intense sessions of imagination followed by hours of doubt and concern. Now let me address the 2 days or less aspect of our discussion. The time element in manifestation is determined primarily by 2 factors: the intensity of your feeling and the completeness of your faith. When your feeling is lukewarm and your faith is partial, manifestation may take weeks, months, or even years. But when your feeling is intense and your faith is complete, manifestation can occur with astonishing speed. I have witnessed countless cases of manifestation occurring within hours of the imaginal act simply because the individual achieved a moment of complete faith combined with intense feeling. So if you truly desire to manifest money in 2 days or less, intensify your feeling and complete your faith. See it done. Feel it real. Know it as an accomplished fact. Another powerful technique for rapid manifestation is what I call revision. If at any point during your 2-day manifestation period you experience events that tend to contradict your desire, do not accept them as final. Use your divine imagination to revise them. For instance, if you check your bank account and find less money than you hoped for, close your eyes immediately and imagine seeing the exact balance you desire. Feel the relief and joy of seeing that number. Make this revised version so real in your imagination that it supersedes the memory of what you physically saw. This practice of revision prevents contradictory impressions from taking root in your consciousness and delaying your manifestation. Now I must speak about a crucial element that many overlook: gratitude. Gratitude is not merely a virtuous emotion, it is a powerful creative force. When you feel genuine gratitude for the wealth you have imagined, you affirm its reality in the most potent way possible. Each night as you retire and each morning as you rise, take a moment to feel sincere gratitude for the financial abundance you have imagined. Thank the divine power within you for fulfilling your desire. This attitude of gratitude completes the manifestation cycle and accelerates the externalization of your imagined wealth. Let me share with you yet another case that demonstrates the miraculous speed with which these principles can operate. A gentleman who had attended several of my lectures found himself in need of a very specific sum to seize a business opportunity that suddenly presented itself. He needed this money within 24 hours and had no obvious way of obtaining it. That evening he applied the principles we have discussed. He imagined a scene where he was informing his business partner that the money had been secured. He felt the handshake, heard the congratulations, and felt the profound relief and excitement of moving forward with the opportunity. He fell asleep in this state and remarkably was awakened at 6 a.m. by a telephone call. A business associate from another state was calling to inquire if he would be interested in providing consultation on a new project. This associate offered a retainer that was almost exactly the amount he had imagined and asked if he could wire the money that very morning. Was this coincidence? Absolutely not. It was the perfect operation of law. When you impress your subconscious mind with a clear image backed by intense feeling, it must objectify that impression in your outer world. Now, I must address an aspect of manifestation that many find challenging: detachment. While you must feel the reality of your imagined wealth with great intensity, you must also cultivate a certain detachment from the process by which it comes to you. Too often people imagine not only the end result, but also the specific means by which that result must come. This limits the infinite intelligence of the universe, which may have channels and avenues you have never considered. To manifest money rapidly, focus exclusively on the end result, the money itself, the feeling of having it, and leave the means to the divine wisdom that orchestrates the universe. This open and receptive attitude allows your manifestation to come through the path of least resistance, which is often much faster than the path you might have consciously chosen. I have noticed in my many years of teaching these principles that those who manifest most rapidly are those who maintain the most childlike attitude. They do not overanalyze or intellectualize the process. They simply imagine with feeling and then carry on with their lives in complete faith that what they have imagined must come to pass. Become as a little child in your approach to manifestation. A child does not question the process of manifestation. They simply know what they want and expect to receive it. This simple, unquestioning expectancy is supremely powerful. Now I must speak of persistence. While manifestation can and often does occur within 2 days when these principles are properly applied, you must remain faithful to your imaginal act until manifestation occurs. Do not set an arbitrary deadline after which you will abandon your efforts if results are not seen. Continue in your assumption of wealth, in your feeling of the wish fulfilled, until it externalizes in your world. Remember always that the outer must conform to the inner. It is a law as reliable as gravity. For those of you who may be thinking, but I have tried to manifest money before and failed, I say to you, you have never failed. You have always manifested according to your dominant feeling and assumption. If you manifested lack rather than abundance, it was because your deeper feeling was one of lack, regardless of what you consciously thought or affirmed. To change your financial situation rapidly, you must change your deepest feeling about money. You must revise your self-concept to include the idea of yourself as a wealthy, abundant being for whom money flows easily and continuously. This brings me to another vital point: your self-concept. How do you see yourself in relation to money? Do you see yourself as someone who struggles financially, for whom money comes with difficulty? Or do you see yourself as someone naturally abundant, for whom wealth is the normal state? Your self-concept acts as a thermostat that regulates your financial temperature. To manage huge sums of money rapidly, adjust thermostat by deliberately assuming a new concept of yourself as wealthy and abundantly supplied. When you change your fundamental assumptions about yourself and money, you change your entire financial reality. And yes, this change can manifest in as little as 2 days when the shift in consciousness is clear and complete. Let me suggest a specific exercise that many have found helpful for rapid financial manifestation. Before you sleep tonight, lie comfortably in your bed and relax your body completely. Then, imagine that you are having a conversation with a close friend or family member. In this conversation, you are sharing the wonderful news that you have received a large sum of money, the exact amount you wish to manifest. Feel the joy in your voice as you share this news. Hear their congratulations and feel the warmth of their happiness for you. Make this conversation so real that it feels like an actual memory rather than an imaginative event. Fall asleep in this state and allow your subconscious mind to work through the night to bring about the conditions necessary for the manifestation of your desire. Upon awakening, recall this imagined conversation and again feel its reality. Carry this feeling with you throughout your day, regardless of any appearances to the contrary in your outer world. This exercise, when performed with feeling and faith, has produced remarkable results within extremely short time frames. Now, I must address something that many teachers of manifestation neglect to mention, the matter of inspired action. While it is true that the inner work of imagination and feeling is the most important aspect of manifestation, you must also remain alert to any intuitive promptings that arise within you during your manifestation period. You may suddenly feel an urge to call someone you haven't spoken to in years. You may feel drawn to visit a place you don't normally go. You may receive an idea for a business or investment that seems to come from nowhere. These intuitive promptings are the guidance of your deeper self, showing you the bridge of incidents that leads to your manifestation. Do not ignore them. Act upon them promptly and decisively, knowing they are part of the divine orchestration bringing your desire into physical form. One of my students practiced these principles to manifest a large sum needed for medical treatment. Within hours of his imaginal session, he felt a strong urge to visit a kafar, he had never been to before. There, he happened to meet an old acquaintance who, upon hearing of his situation, offered to connect him with a trust that provided exactly the type of financial assistance he needed. The money was in his account the very next day. Had he ignored that intuitive prompting, his manifestation might have been delayed or redirected through another channel. Always trust and act upon these inner nudges when they come. Another aspect of rapid manifestation that must be addressed is your vibrational state. Your entire being vibrates at a certain frequency based on your predominant thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. Money, like all things in the universe, responds to specific frequencies. To attract money rapidly, you must maintain a vibrational state that matches the frequency of wealth and abundance. This state is characterized by feelings of gratitude, generosity, excitement, and absolute knowing. Notice how wealthy individuals often speak about and interact with money. There is typically an ease, a confidence, a certainty about it. They expect good financial outcomes, and so they experience them. This is not because the universe favors them, but because their vibrational state naturally attracts the circumstances, people, and opportunities that match it. For the next 2 days, be vigilant about your vibrational state. When you notice yourself feeling anxious, worried, or doubtful about money, immediately shift to feelings of confidence, certainty, and abundance. This deliberate management of your vibrational state will significantly accelerate your manifestation. Now, I must share with you a profound truth that many miss. The universe does not distinguish between what you want and what you don't want. It simply responds to what you are vibrationally offering through your dominant thoughts and feelings. If you focus on not having enough money, the universe faithfully reflects back to you the experience of not having enough money. If you focus on debt and financial problems, you receive more debt and financial problems. But when you focus on wealth, abundance, and financial ease, when these states become your dominant vibrational offering, the universe must respond by bringing you experiences that match these states. For the next 2 days, keep your attention fixed firmly on what you want, not on what you don't want. Speak of financial lack or limitation only when necessary for practical matters, and even then maintain an inner feeling of abundance regardless of the words you must use. Another powerful technique for rapid manifestation is the use of affirmative prayer or decreeing. This is not the beseeching type of prayer where you ask an external deity for favor or assistance. Rather, it is the authoritative declaring of what is true on the spiritual plane and must therefore manifest on the physical plane. For instance, you might declare, "Infinite abundance flows to me now from expected and unexpected sources. I am wealthy beyond measure, and money comes to me easily and frequently. I am a money magnet drawing wealth to me through known and unknown channels. My good comes to me now in immeasurable abundance." Speak these words with authority and conviction, feeling them to be true even as you speak them. Do this several times throughout your 2-day manifestation period, particularly when you first awaken and just before you sleep. The power of your word, backed by feeling and faith, sets in motion vibrational forces that manifest with remarkable speed. Now it's important to address potential blocks to rapid manifestation. One of the most common blocks is an underlying belief that it is somehow wrong or spiritually unfavorable to desire wealth. Many have been conditioned to believe that money is the root of all evil, or that spirituality and prosperity are somehow opposed to each other. I tell you with absolute certainty, there is nothing spiritually wrong with desiring and manifesting wealth. Money is simply a symbol, a means of exchange, a representation of value. It is neither good nor evil in itself. Like all things, its nature depends entirely on the consciousness that directs it. When money flows to you as the result of your aligned consciousness, it comes for your good and the good of all concerned. Release any guilt or shame associated with your desire for wealth, knowing that as you prosper, you increase your capacity to contribute to the well-being of others. This inner conflict between desire and belief must be resolved for rapid manifestation to occur. For the next 2 days, whenever you detect any thought that wealth is somehow wrong or unspiritual, revise it immediately. Affirm instead that wealth is a natural expression of the abundant universe in which we live, and that by accepting abundance, you honor the infinite supply that is your divine birthright. Another common block is the fear of disappointment. Many hold back from fully committing to their manifestation because they fear being let down if it doesn't occur within their desired time frame. This protective mechanism actually ensures failure, for manifestation requires complete commitment. To manifest money rapidly, you must be willing to risk disappointment. You must go all in with your faith and feeling, holding nothing back as insurance against potential letdown. This total commitment accelerates manifestation dramatically. Remember always that the outer world is a reflection of your inner state. If you wish to change your financial circumstances in 2 days or less, you must first change your inner state regarding money. For these next 2 days, immerse yourself completely in the consciousness of wealth. Think from wealth, not of wealth. There is a crucial distinction here. When you think of wealth, you acknowledge its absence in your present experience. When you think from wealth, you occupy the state of wealth in consciousness, and the outer must eventually conform. Let me share one more powerful technique for those who wish to manifest money with extraordinary speed. I call it the congratulatory scene. Imagine a scene where several people who know you well are discussing your new financial status. Hear them saying to each other, "Isn't it wonderful about him, her? Such a large sum of money and so quickly. I'm so happy for them." Feel the sincerity of their good wishes. Feel how natural and normal your new wealth seems to these people who know you well. This technique is powerful because it adds the element of social confirmation to your imaginal act. When you can hear others discussing your success as an accomplished fact, your subconscious mind accepts the suggestion more readily and manifests it more rapidly. Now, one final point that is absolutely crucial for those who manifest money in 2 days or less. You must maintain an unwavering focus during this period. Do not dilute your manifestation by focusing on multiple desires simultaneously. For these 2 days, make financial abundance your singular focus. Pour all your imaginative energy into this one goal. This concentrated focus greatly accelerates the manifestation process. My dear friends, I have shared with you tonight the exact methods by which you can manifest huge sums of money in 2 days or less. These principles are not theoretical. They have been tested and proven countless times by myself and by those who have applied them faithfully. Remember, imagine with feeling, maintain the consciousness of wealth regardless of appearances. Revise any contradictory experiences. Act upon intuitive promptings. Manage your vibrational state. Decree your good with authority. Resolve any inner conflicts about wealth. Commit fully to your manifestation. Think from wealth rather than of it. And maintain singular focus during your manifestation period. Apply these principles with discipline and faith for the next 2 days and prepare to be astonished at how rapidly your financial situation transforms. The key is to understand and accept fully that your external reality is but a shadow of your internal state. Change the internal and the external must change. This is law. Before we conclude, let me emphasize once more the importance of persistence combined with patience. While manifestation can and often does occur in 2 days, when these principles are properly applied, do not become anxious or doubtful if your manifestation is still in process as the second day draws to a close. Divine timing is perfect timing, and your manifestation will occur at precisely the right moment for your highest good. Maintain your faith and feeling regardless of the calendar or clock. Finally, remember that you are not merely manifesting money, you are manifesting a new state of consciousness regarding money. This is the true miracle. The money itself is simply the outward symbol of this transformed consciousness. When you successfully manifest money through these principles, you have demonstrated mastery over your own consciousness, which is the only true mastery worth seeking. For when you can consciously direct your internal state, you gain control over your entire life experience. Go now and apply what you have learned. Test these principles for yourself. Prove them in the laboratory of your own life. I promise you that if you apply them faithfully, you will manifest not only the money you desire within this short period, but a whole new understanding of the creative power that lies within you. You are the operant power in your world. You are the God of your universe. Claim your divine inheritance of abundance now, and watch in wonder as it manifests before your eyes. The kingdom of heaven is within you, and that kingdom contains infinite abundance waiting to be expressed in your life. Claim it now. Feel it now. Live from it now. And within 2 days or less, you will see the outer manifestation of your transformed consciousness. I thank you for your attention this evening, and I congratulate you in advance on your imminent financial abundance. It is done. It is finished. Your good is established. Go in peace, knowing that what you have imagined with feeling must manifest in your world. It is law.